on?
I think we're on. So,
okay.
Welcome everybody to Constantly Cruising, and we're live today. We got some things to talk about.
Yep, we have just come back from 2 different cruises that we want to answer some questions about and tell you our thoughts and tips and tricks that we've learned from both of those cruises.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get into it.
Yeah, we've got some cruise news also, and we'll do some live Q&A once we're all done with that. So let's just play the intro and then we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome. If you're new around here, we're Will and Kara, and we want to show you why we're constantly cruising. All right.
Yes, so happy Saturday, everybody. We first want to start out by saying this is probably going to be our new slot for our lives. Unfortunately, evenings during the week are just pretty hard for both of us.
It was wishful thinking for me.
Yeah, so we're going to try Saturday mornings. We know a lot of you guys, as you're getting up in the morning, 10:30 for us is, I get it, it's a late morning, but sometimes we're pretty lazy Saturday morning. So hopefully some of you guys are still maybe relaxing in your PJs, or you're just now starting to get ready. So we really appreciate you joining us as we try out this new little time slot. So thanks for coming.
Yeah. And if you're out there, the chat is live, so just drop your name in there. Let us know you're out there, and if you got any questions, drop them in there. And like I said, we'll do some live Q&A at the end.
Yeah.
So you want to start with talking about what you thought about the Majestic Princess? Because we were on that, what was that, 3 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks ago. So I will be honest, my initial thoughts on it was I wasn't so sure that it was going to be my favorite ship. It has a similar layout to the Enchanted, which actually is one of my favorite ships. So I was kind of surprised as to why I wasn't really digging it. However, it turned out to be a wonderful cruise. We were on this cruise, however, with 2 large groups.
Yeah.
So one was an Irish music group, which had almost
like
1,000 people. I think majority of them were from like New York, New Jersey area. There were a few that were from, I think, Scotland, Ireland, places of that nature. But anyway, it was a very large group.
Very large group. And
then, big shock and surprise, there was a Santa Claus convention
kind of thing.
Which
if
we
you even knew that existed.
Yeah, which we knew about. Both of these groups were going to be on this cruise. However, I will say it does kind of change how the feel of a cruise goes when you have large groups like that. Mainly just because some of the venues were, closed off for their private stuff quite often. So, for instance, the Vista Lounge was one area that the Irish group tended to be in a lot. So, you kind of missed out on that. Which also, side note, we were shocked that on the Majestic, the Vista Lounge did not have a bar, which we thought was kind of strange, because normally that's where they hold like bingo and some of the comedy shows, things like that. So, anyway. That was just a side note.
We do have the full ship tour of the Majestic dropping tomorrow or Monday at 10 a.m. So.
Anyway, so the Vista Lounge was closed off some of the time. The Hollywood Conservatory was closed off some of the time because that's typically where the Santa Claus stuff was happening. So, it just kind of changed the vibe, if you will, of the ship. But like I said, it took us a few days to just kind of get acclimated to the fact that, with some of these large groupings, obviously they all were going to the same places at the same time. So it was just like all of a sudden it was just a mass group going from one place to the other. So you just kind of had to learn to navigate.
Definitely probably had a good portion of staff tending to both of those groups. So there was a little bit less kind of one-on-one interaction with staff. But we were able to find a couple good bars, real good bartenders, and we actually made
Had some great relationships.
Great relationships. Got to know a couple people really well. So that's always fun and nice to meet cruise friends.
Yeah. Peter and Laura. Hey.
Peter and Laura and
oh gosh.
Oh no.
Diane and Scott.
Diane and Scott. I was going to
say
Scott and Diane. Yeah.
Sorry guys if you're watching. Anyway, but that's always so nice when you can make connections with people, especially those that you tend to. It sounded like they kind of tended to cruise often enough too. So hopefully the hope is to run into them again. But that always just makes your cruise so much better when you can just, make other relationships and friends. Let's see some other takeaways from the Majestic for me, and then I'll let Will go. But our room we have never been so forward on a ship ever. And I'll be honest, as hopefully you guys have watched our videos before, I normally book most of our cruises aside from when I have to do a casino offer. But even when I call in to do those see you soon offers, I've got my list of rooms and things for them to go through to see if they're available. Yeah. But this cruise, again, since there were both of these groups on there, even when I called, it was a pretty slim selection of staterooms. So anyway, we ended up being
you get what you get.
Really forward on the ship, which you'll hopefully see with our room tour, because we did do a cabin tour as well for this.
And that actually posted last Monday, so it's live. You can go check that out after the live stream.
And so it was wild to walk out of the balcony, and the bridge was right there. So it was. I will say it was cool because especially we made a point to go outside, especially as we were going into ports. Just to be able to watch the captain and just kind of see the communication that was happening between the bridge and then the port authorities that were waiting for the lines to be thrown out, etc.
That kind of stuff.
However, the seas were a little rocky for this cruise, so you do kind of need to keep that in mind. I know that we've probably touched on that on a few videos as you're looking for your cabins. If you do tend to get some motion sickness, this is another little pro tip. You got to definitely look for more of that midship maybe
action,
even kind of a lower deck if you don't want to experience that. So anyway, of course, Will and I don't thankfully experience any kind of motion sickness or seasickness.
Not really.
But it's just that feeling of wow, we are really rocking on this ship.
I'd say
what about you?
The big plus to having a room that was so far forward is that no cross traffic whatsoever, because you're so far forward. We maybe had, I'd say, 10 rooms before the curve to go through the very front part of the ship and then to head back towards the back.
If that.
So unless you were in one of those very front rooms, no one's walking back and forth in the hallway. So there's a whole lot less traffic and a lot less noise of people walking through. The downside is that, if let's say you're on one side, forward or aft, and your favorite whatever venue is on the opposite side, it means you're walking the entire length of the ship every time that you go there.
Which was us, because our dining room was all the way in the back.
On the other side.
So
we got our steps in.
Yep.
Jinx.
What was some of your pros?
I enjoyed the trip a lot. I thought it was good. It was less. We talked about the fact that the indoor pool kind of made it a little bit inaccessible because we really didn't like, good or bad, it had that kind of YMCA smell at that indoor pool at the Hollywood Pool Club. And so you really only had the one pool in the middle. There was no Wakeview pool or anything like that. Not that we spend a whole lot of time out there. I know we utilized that area some when we're on the Sun Princess, and it has that kind of nice area in the back. But good or bad, it was okay.
Well, even on the Enchanted, which, as I mentioned, similar layout. Even the Enchanted has more pools, so that was it was different.
It had one big pool, and then the second pool kind of was the same size as the other, but it really only had like a little round, deep area in the middle of it, about the size of a jacuzzi. It wasn't even deep.
I think it was like 4 feet.
It was just weird.
It's almost like a large kiddie pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, good or bad, but overall, really enjoyed the cruise. I had a great time, and
I will say because we, as you guys know, are the big casino people. Didn't love the casino. The machines, to me, the slots. You guys, I'm normally the slots. Will's normally the tables. Although he's been getting more into video poker here lately. A lot of their games, first of all, we had not seen, but I come to find out a lot of them are older. But they also did not have any of the old-fashioned real slot games, which is kind of crazy.
Weird.
And I don't know why, but it just it felt a little tight in the smoking side. So I don't know if that's just because of the way that they had the machines laid out. I'm sure that is why.
Yeah, and
the foot traffic was
very busy.
Because actually we couldn't really figure it out, but we are pretty sure this also ended up being a Hearts cruise.
It was a Hearts cruise as well,
so actually there were 3 groups.
And
on this cruise.
You can drop down in the comments and tell me what you think. Maybe it's a hot take, maybe it's not. But we had earned a see you soon offer. We booked this cruise using a see you soon offer.
Yes.
And you may disagree with me as well, but I think if you had a see you soon offer and you booked a see you soon offer on a cruise that ended up being a Hearts cruise, we should have just gotten the benefits as if we booked the Hearts cruise.
Felt a little sour that we didn't have stuff in our room about the Hearts cruise, because I am getting Hearts cruise offers.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that level. We're getting those offers. We booked it before it became a Hearts cruise offer. So, and again, we booked it with a casino offer. I think we should have gotten those perks, but whatever.
Neither here nor there.
It's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But anyway. So, tell us what your pros and cons have been on the Majestic Princess, because I thought we were going to be back on the Majestic this year, but it turns out we've had a change of plans, so we're not going to. But I will say, I do think that this particular cruise ship, especially with him mentioning about the pools, this is a great ship, I think, that's for colder climates, especially since you have the enclosed pool.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of seems like, since they only had, really kind of one large pool, I just don't know if it's really the best for like a Caribbean cruising.
That's where all the ships are right now. But it will be doing New England and stuff in the fall.
Oh,
right?
Perfect.
Yeah, so
that's what we thought we were going to do.
It's a great ship for that itinerary. If you're looking to do New England this fall, look for that. So let's jump over. We just got back from our family cruise on the Sun Princess. So what'd you think about that? What's your quick debrief?
We had a great time. It could not have gone any smoother.
Yeah.
Everybody had a blast. Everybody, I feel like, kind of got to do what they wanted to do. The kids, shout out to Robbie and Maddie, we love you. They had a great time in the kids club, or the teens and the tweens area.
Yeah.
Loved that they could have unlimited ice cream, pizza, cookies, etc. They loved that.
Swirls was a big hit.
Swirls was a big hit. Weather was fantastic. The seas were not too rocky, so nobody experienced motion sickness, thank goodness. We had a really, really great time. So we highly recommend, if you haven't done a family cruise, do one. I will say, I think it was a beneficial thing for us to be on the Sun, with it being one of the newer class ships, obviously, because it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And it just kind of has a better feel, I think, especially when you've got kids, because, Princess is not necessarily known for being a kiddish cruise.
We had
which is why we kind of like it.
10-year-old and a 14-year-old went along with us, along with my sister, brother-in-law, and my dad and my stepmom.
Yeah. But I mean, there are ample pools, there's tons of sun loungers. So even when you have a crazy day at sea, we were still able to find some pool loungers, tons of dining options. We didn't particularly do any of the specialty dining or anything like that. We just did the main dining room, and then, of course, utilized a lot of by the pool area because we were by the pool a lot.
We had O'Malley's one night.
I just think it's a great option for families to do like the sun or the star. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very enjoyable.
We're looking forward to hopefully maybe doing it again next year. Yeah. We're going to see.
All right. Well, we have rambled a little bit, so let's try to play a little bit of catch up. We got some cruise news I wanted to go through, so let me share the screen here and pop up on what I've got here. So this new study reveals which cruise line has the cleanest ships. Any guesses?
I mean, I would say Princess is up there.
Okay, let me clarify because I've read this article. Okay, the article talks about overarching, so it wouldn't be Princess, it would be Carnival. So you look at Carnival, Royal Caribbean.
Well, is Oceania its own?
Oceania is its own.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably say Oceania just because that's a top luxury cruise line.
Yeah. So
and they definitely cater. In fact, I think it's an adult only, and it's a little pricey. So I would imagine it's clean.
Viking and Crystal Cruises, which I haven't heard before. Maybe you have.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Are tied for the top spot with the cleanest cruise lines, 99 out of 100 on average. And this comes from they actually took this data from when they get on the ship and do the CDC, walkthroughs. Okay. So Oceania, Japan, Grace, Virgin Voyages, Norwegian, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean rounded out the top 10 of the cleanest lines.
Carnival is not on there.
So in order to fall below where you're in danger zone, it was 85, and only I think one ship hit 85, and that was the Villa V Odyssey, which never heard of that ship before.
Well, it's one of those ships where it's a resident ship.
No, it's a resident ship.
Yeah.
And then there were 3 other ships that hit an 86. It was the Victory 1 by Victory Cruises, the Carnival Pride by Carnival, and the Stad Amsterdam.
Ooh, okay.
They received a score of 86. But Carnival overall, I think, came back with a 94 something.
Not terrible.
So, not terrible. And, so that is from Yahoo Travel if you want to look that one up. So that's the first thing I want to talk about for news. Okay. All the way here at the bottom, this is an interesting little tidbit. It does say that they found no correlation between the number of viral outbreaks on a ship and the cleanliness of the ship, meaning you're just as likely to experience a viral outbreak on a clean ship as you are on an unclean ship.
Well, norovirus,
whatever you want to take that
norovirus is more about personal hygiene, truthfully.
Yeah, exactly.
So
wash your hands, people.
Wash your hands.
Washy. Regal Princess abruptly changes course. This happened a couple weeks ago and rescues 4 people in the middle of the ocean. I think this was a cruise out of Galveston, maybe. And then just to know for this, if you're wondering why this happened, why they would just pick people up, it seems like it was 4 migrants in the middle of the ocean on a kind of makeshift boat. But it's maritime law. It's required maritime law unless the captain thinks it's inherent safety risk to pick them up. They're required to pick them up. They take care of them, and then they drop them off to authorities to get whatever help they need at the very next port of call.
Which is something I learned because I didn't know it was a law that they have to do that. Because in fact, we talked about this on our family cruise because my sister-in-law and I both were sister-in-law. And I both.
Oh, she brought up Captain Phillips.
We're saying we were like, what if these are pirates? I mean, you don't know who these people are, but I get it. It's up to the captain's discretion, I guess, obviously, to tell if these are people that are coming to attack the cruise ship or if they're just literally people that are in distress, right?
then that's the point. It's people in distress. That's who they're picking up. And there's a big difference between people in distress and like large groups of people in speedboats.
I'm gonna have to see that movie now though, because I haven't seen it. Anyway, all right. What else you got?
And then one last thing, and this is just by way of note.
Yeah.
CDC issues global polio travel warning, and this does affect some cruise regions. And you may be, if you're cruising in the next few weeks or a few months in any area, the Mediterranean, this is something you may want to look at. Make sure that you're vaccinated so that all that's up to date. If you're stopping at multiple places where this is affected, you're at higher risk to maybe be susceptible to it. Yeah. So just something to think about. I'll scroll down here. I think this is on Cruise Hive, which is, I've found a really good place for cruise information. That there was a map on here. I may not be able to.
In case you can't tell, he likes running a board meeting, so this is a little board meeting-ish, but anyway.
It's a lot of countries in Africa. It was Spain. It was Denmark. Italy may have been on there. There was a lot of European countries and a lot of African countries. So if you're traveling to any of those places and you got a cruise over in the Mediterranean, that might be worth taking a look at. So that's all I got with that.
Of course, we also know, everybody's talking about it, but just everything going on in the world right now, particularly with Mediterranean cruises, things like that. Just make sure you're checking all of your flights, all of your itineraries. Yeah. I mean, of course, keep in mind these cruise lines are really trying to do their best to keep you safe. We should mention with this family cruise, our port went to Cozumel.
Which had never really been in danger. Most of that stuff happened on the West Coast, not the East Coast.
And everybody felt fine. Everybody was safe. They would have never taken us there if they knew that we were going to, not be safe. So, I mean, keep that in mind. Don't jump guns about canceling cruises and things. Especially, I was watching another channel today and people were talking about, they have a Mediterranean cruise booked way in the fall of this year, and they're wondering if they should cancel. Absolutely not. Don't cancel that yet. There a lot of things can happen between now and then. So, but make sure you do check your flights, check your itineraries, things of that nature. If you do have anything with the Mediterranean or in that vicinity of what's going on over there, and just if you just personally don't feel safe about it, then I get it. Like make that choice for yourself. But I would just hate for anybody to miss out on a really great experience. Yeah. Just because you might be a little scared. Don't let fear carry you. Anyway.
I think that's about it. We'll wrap up with this. I want to say, and we both want to say, an unbelievable thank you to anybody that's watched, followed, or subscribed in the past month. We have shot from, we were somewhere around 350 and kind of lingering there for a while as far as subscribers go. Yeah. And we've had one video kind of push off a little bit, and all of a sudden we're almost to 575 subscribers. Thank you so very much. It's just been really cool to watch.
Yeah.
Our hope and goal is that we're providing value and sharing our love of cruising with you guys so that you can have a better experience when you get on the ship. Yeah.
And we know we don't always know all the answers, and we know that sometimes we don't say things perfectly. But I think I also want to say and comment and thank you guys for just being kind. Yeah. Most of your comments and stuff, of course we, every now and then you get people that just kind of want to be negative, but we really appreciate everybody just showing kindness, especially when we are going to mess up and make mistakes. We know, and we appreciate you pointing them out because this is how we learn. Yeah. But we really appreciate, all your comments. And please continue to comment and make sure you're asking questions of things that we can answer. We certainly want to hit anything that you guys might, want to know about and maybe we're just not thinking about. So, but yeah, we really appreciate you guys watching and continue to just like these videos. Please continue to subscribe, to share to others people, and even more importantly, make sure you hit that little notification bell, because that's going to show you every time that we have a new video that puts up and when we go live. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, our next cruise will be on the Star Princess, and that's just a few weeks away. If you've got anything special you'd like for us to cover while we're on that ship, post it down below in the comments.
Yes.
And until then, stay constantly cruising. Thank you so much for watching.